Welcome everybody, Anaris here with more coverage of the After Hours Gaming League, the 9-week tournament where 8 tech companies field their strongest StarCraft 2 talent in an attempt to guide the $5,000 grand prize towards the charity of their desire. Today we'll be watching Zynga, creator of online software such as the popular app Farmville, face off against Dropbox, a company that specializes in online storage solutions. We'll kick off today's match set with Zynga's Jules fighting against Dropbox's S. Bartel in an epic PvP battle on the Shattered Temple. And here we are with S. Bartel spawning as the orange Protoss over in the 9 o'clock position. His opponent, Jules, spawning down as the purple Protoss in the 6 o'clock position. And it looks like they're making some kind of advanced deal here. If Jules wins, he gets a 50 gigabyte Dropbox account. That's a pretty good deal. And if he wins, he's going to get 50 Farmville cash. All right, well, pretty interesting stuff. Now, let's actually explore what we could be seeing here today. I'm not really familiar with the level of skill that we're going to be witnessing in today's matchup, but in general, PvP tends to go the way of either 4-gate or something involving getting a pretty fast robotics facility, and whoever gets the Colossi first and micros them well usually wins. So we'll see which one of those strats actually takes place here today, with both players already having dropped their pylons, chrono boosts going out across the board, and we're going to have some pretty interesting dynamics, especially if we have one or both players go with something along the lines of a 4-gate build, with their bases being so close, even if they lose their proxy pylon, there are going to be plenty of places to tuck one in, and also they can drop one right here and have pretty much immediate access down to the midfield close to their opponent's base. We do have that gateway going down for S. Bartel. Jules just went down a moment or two beforehand, still continuing to chrono boost out those probes. We'll wait and see. Pretty much the telltale sign is going to be the gas. That's what you're going to want to look for. That and the chrono boost usage is your opponent saving it up past the second chrono boost on the Nexus, or is he just kind of going ahead and using it for economy? Those are the things you're going to want to watch for, as both players are getting ready to scout each other out now. The first gas is completed for Jules. Also, we do have S. Bartel waiting. His is about 3/4 complete, so a little bit behind his opponent right now. It's still pretty early in the matchup. One thing I want to point out here is S. Bartel is actually doing his building placement a little bit differently than his opponent. He's deciding to wall off at the choke point up here, creating a spot where he can put a Zealot or a Stalker, something like that, to block off, and Jules comes up here and he's like, huh, that's pretty interesting placement. One thing that Jules might be taking advantage of here later on is the fact that, obviously Protoss, 2 of their 3 early gateway units are ranged, so the ability to come down here with some Stalkers, take out this gateway, will really set your opponent back, really no matter which type of strategy he's going. Also, we see the Cybernetics core is fairly close to the ramp as well, so that could also be a target. These 2 pylons here, we'll wait and see exactly what happens. Likewise, down for Jules base, you'll see that both of his structures are powered up by 1 pylon right now, so that could be a vulnerability that S. Bartel maybe tries to take advantage of if he's actually the one to score the first 4-gate here, which we can witness is pretty much what we have going on at this point. We have both players here running on 1 gas. S. Bartel going with kind of an interesting build, dropping down this second gateway though. Wait and see exactly what's going to be coming down the line from him. Both players, I believe, are chrono boosting out their Cybernetics core, trying to get that Warp Gate technology, as Jules, it looks like, is going to be following that little bit more traditional 4-gate build. We'll expect to see him drop a proxy pylon. It looks like it did just go down a second or 2 ago. Yep, again, pretty much all part of the build here. 2 additional gateways for S. Bartel with some pretty creative rally points. I like that a lot. That's kind of neat. Yeah, so you see we have a Stalker here for S. Bartel, bringing it. 1 Zealot, 1 Stalker for him, 1 Zealot, 1 Stalker for his opponent, 20 probes apiece. Income is dead split, now at 21, and S. Bartel actually pretty smart here. He's running around checking for proxy pylons that happen to be in this particular spot, and we're going to see him now move out towards the middle of the map. Oh, but look at this. We already have Jules here with 1 Zealot, 1 Stalker, ready for his Warp Gates to finish. We do have that gateway just a second from being completed. Now bringing in some additional Stalkers, and S. Bartel Espartel maybe looking to play a defensive style 4-gate, not really placing a proxy pylon as near his opponent's base, but realizing that we are going to be having an engagement here, this poor Zealot gets taken out right off the bat. And now there goes the probe as well, leaving Espartel with his pylon extremely vulnerable. We see he is warping in Stalkers from behind, though. Jules looking to try to do anything he can to keep these Stalkers busy. We'll see how exactly Espartel handles it. Uh-oh, there goes another probe. Jules, his pylon is successfully warped in, so that will work out in his favor here, as we see 27 to 42, 34 to 50 right now. Neither player is working on those probes. You can see the loss of 2 of those is a pretty bad thing, but now Espartel taking advantage of that choke point here, warping in another Zealot behind, trying to keep the line secure, as Jules is doing a pretty good job here trying to bust up. Unfortunately for him, not able to quite do the damage that he wanted to do, so he followed it up with a couple more Zealots here, which I think is the proper response. Basically, he wants to try, he's going to go for the pylon, going to take it down to just 1 powering all of these warp gates, plus the cybernetics core. That is not a good position to be in for Espartel. He could actually lose this. If this does go down, then it will significantly cripple his entire army, and there we go with the GG. Espartel getting knocked out by Jules in game number 1. Wow, what a 4-gate play indeed. Alright guys, let's go into game number 2 and see what happens next. Having just wrapped up game number 1, we move on to the second match, where we'll witness a Zerg versus Zerg, the Battle of the Engineers. Now that we have joined the players, we see K-Mod spawning down in the bottom left position. His opponent is going to be, I think it's two air, up in the top right position. So Zerg versus Zerg is one of those very meticulous matchups where you're going to have basically whoever decides, if you can pull off a risky early expansion, then you're going to be set pretty much for the game. But a lot of times it just becomes a match series where, okay, my opponent has Zerglings, I'm going to get speed upgrade. Okay, my opponent has a speed upgrade, I'm going to get Banelings. And then you have back and forth action for who knows how long. And usually it works out pretty well if you're able to get roaches, but again, it comes down to positioning on those. If your opponent goes really heavy with the lings, you can get overwhelmed as well. So now we see that Tuer is going to be sending down a scout, as he is 11 of 10 supply. His opponent, K-Mod, is currently sitting at 8 supply, having already thrown down his spawning pool. So he is looking to secure an early victory here for his team today. Oh man, what a map to do this on. There goes his own scout right now. Drone heading up to the north, where the spawning pool just dropped a second ago for Tuer. Now you see right there in the production tab, we're going to expect to see some Zerglings coming in just a moment here. He's going to have to actually drop down a extractor or something in order to get, okay, there's that Overlord popping right as soon as I say that. So now there's that third larva. We can expect to see more Zerglings on the way. But lucky for Tuer, he scouted that out. He knows what's going on, and also has a drone parked way up here as well. So we'll keep an eye on him, see what's going to happen. Oh, Kama deciding to drop down that spine crawler. I don't think he realized that the Overlord was actually parked up here. Otherwise, that would have been a very effective strategy. The thing is, with the creep, it doesn't actually grant you vision right there. The hatchery does. So if you can place it like right here, where the Overlord is not, then it would have worked out a lot better for him. But just that placement, oh man, that'll do it. But you see, K-Mod trying once again to drop that spine crawler. A very interesting position this time, trying to use the minerals to limit the amount of damage that can be done. And there's a couple of Zerglings that have popped out right as soon as Tuer's Zerglings arrived as well. So now we can pretty much just write off this spine crawler harassment. We see some movement down here with the drone getting ready to head into the back of K-Mod's base. More Zerglings have entered. He sees, okay, 5-2. Definitely not a good spot to engage. He's even with the reinforcements. 2 more on the way. Still outnumbered 5-4. This spine crawler is actually about 50% complete. I'm going to laugh if this thing finishes, because it is definitely just right inside of the base. Not even shameful about it, man. I'll tell you what, if he can pull it off, then he deserves it. But now we see that Tuer running around with several Zerglings. A lot of these are dinged up, though, so he's going to want to be careful. As we see K-Mod try to save that last Zergling, meet up with the friends, and hopefully push back towards the northern portion of the map. He's got to do something about this spine crawler now that it's finished, and it's actually going to be able to secure about 60-70% of the minerals, and the spawning pool as well. Absolutely. That is just irony at its best, folks. Irony at its best. Tuair with plenty of Zerglings here, ready to hold off an attack. He's got the superior economy right now. He's got gas on the way. Be able to get that speed upgrade, really seal the deal. As this Spinecrawler continues to poke and prod. Oh, looks like Kmod getting one or two Zerglings surrounded there as he does try to double back and catch a few off guard. Maybe get a good surround on that. Take out the queen. We'll see. He is back on the creep, though, so he's going to be able to run around even more, but even with reinforcements on the way, the spawning pool is just about gone, around 140 hit points. So there's the GG from Kmod, realizing he is not going to be able to keep that pressure up with all these lings here. All right, well, that was a very interesting game. Let's go on to game number 3 and see if it is equally as entertaining. Now, before we do get into the third matchup, let's take a look at the players super quick. We have Fredo versus Dare Onion. We have a software engineer against an assistant producer on Tal'Darim Altar. Zerg versus Terran. All right, who's pumped? Let's go check it out. Now that we have joined the players, we can see we have a cross-position battle today here on Tal'Darim Altar. Fredo spawning as the Zerg player up in the top right position, against Dare Onion. I don't know why, but that name just cracks me up. I love it. Spawning down in the bottom left. I think it's because I imagine this Onion with like a cape getting ready to jump this like 20 car pile up with his bicycle or something. I don't know. Sorry, ADD moment there. Dare Onion spawning, Red Terran, bottom left position. Now a ZVT, what we're likely to see, first of all, from the Zerg player, something along the lines of mobility. I'm thinking mutas, Zerglings, something like that. We'll see exactly what kind of build he decides to go with here. If he scouts out his opponent, sees that he's not over in this area, he may decide to go like hatch first at the natural expansion. I mean, it is Tal'Darim Altar. It's a macro-heavy map, so those kind of builds are very awesome here, and we do have the scout actually heading out for Fredo as we speak. So down here for Dare Onion, I'm going to think the same thing. Mobility is going to be key. We're going to be looking for Hellions, maybe some Marine drops later on in the match. I'm not exactly sure what skill level these guys are in terms of league play, but I mean, if they've been picked by their company to represent them in StarCraft 2, then they've got to be awesome. So we expect a good match here today. Spawning pool going down first. So Fredo going kind of an interesting build there. Pool first. All right, that's fine. We'll see what comes next. If he's going to stick with something else. I'm guessing from the money that we see right now, it's pretty low. Both players actually doing a fairly good job keeping that money down. That I would like to see enough for a queen, and then maybe transition into expansion then. But with Dare Onion coming up here as scouting, things could change up just a little bit. I don't know. We'll wait and see. We do have the Zerg player coming and scouting as well. He's going to spot, okay, there's the barracks, and the SCV actually getting ready to drop something as well here. Oh, nice block. The drone just not able to get by. Punches it in the face and chases it around while the Marine is just about completed building this SCV. Dare Onion, oh no, hurry up and jump the cliff, man. You gotta get away. Jump, 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 jump. Oh, he's not gonna make it. Oh, man, I think he could have cleared that with his suit. I really think he could have cleared it. But that's okay, as Fredo is going to be making his way back out now with the drone. Will it actually survive? Oh, getting out just in the nick of time before that supply depot goes down. So all in all, well executed in terms of scouting. We do have a few Zerglings running out for Fredo right now as his expansion has been dropped about 30% complete. One thing he's going to have to watch out for, as most players who have had some time spent on this map know, against the Terran, this spot is their magical home away from home with siege tanks lined up at the base, denying gas, denying pretty much all these minerals right here. So that's definitely going to be something that Dare Onion can take advantage of here. Now, we do have a factory going down as well as a second barracks, and there's that gas coming as well. Factory is actually just about complete, so we'll see what's going to pop out. Like I said, maybe some Hellions, although we do have a pretty gas-heavy focus right now, so he may decide to skip off. We'll wait and see what's going to happen in the add-ons or anything like that. A starport, actually, is going to be going down. Interesting, as the Zerg kind of pokes and prods up here at the natural expansion, wanting to see, okay, if he can get an idea of the unit composition. Are there any add-ons here for the barracks that would give some kind of indication as to what strategy he's going? He wasn't able to get any of that, so he decided to go ahead and keep it back at the natural. Also, Fredo doing a good job controlling this watchtower. This is probably the most important one for watching to see when Terran actually moves out of his base there. Looking back up on the Zerg side of things, we see he is working on one geyser now consistently. He's got that metabolic boost upgrade on the way, and still just kind of getting his gas coming up from that of Terran sitting on a decent bit as well. Evolution chamber going down. I wonder if he's actually expecting something. No, he doesn't see anything just yet. He's probably thinking, okay, 2 barracks, a few marines, probably some kind of tech laying around, so maybe getting a spore crawler or 2 would be a good idea. Also, he's getting a baneling nest. Very interesting. He's also still droning up. I mean, at this point, I don't blame him. There's no real reason not to. He knows his opponent is more or less holed up in his main base right now, so he's going to take this time to continue bolstering his own defenses and continuing with the drones. There's that spore crawler going down at the natural. 2 queens here, again, just to try to chase away any sort of banshee harassment that we could possibly see. Nothing at the main base just yet. No upgrades on the way either, but there's that second spore crawler going down. As we see Fredo, I think he's getting ready to sacrifice this Overlord here in the coming moments. We'll see exactly what he has. Yes, indeed, a rally point queue set to come right down here just outside of the Terran player's base, or we see a command center going down with a tech lab. Gonna be looking to get some of those upgrades here as 2 dropships do head out. Oh, look at this. The Zergling sees that. He's like, okay, well, if you're going to leave the door open for me, then I'm just going to come right on in, help myself to a milkshake, and call it good. But the important thing, that crucial information that Fredo just gained by running that Zergling in and just kind of hanging out parked inside the natural expansion, was that with those 2 medevacs out, there's a possibility of a drop. So you see he's got 26 Zerglings on the way, now that his economy is just looking oh so snazzy right now. 27 to 25, very mineral heavy. I mean, he really only needs 1 geyser running at this point just for upgrades and things like that. He's got his lair on the way. We do see that his second extractor has just completed rather a moment or 2 ago. For the Terran player, we have weapons 1, and oh, see, he's even running the Zerglings around there. He's again anticipating that drop with several Zerglings up here, just pretty much keeping an eye on the 3rd base. You know, Fredo doing a good job controlling the map overall. So far, as we get ready to approach the 10-minute mark, we're going to possibly have the first engagement here with these 2 dropships heading over. Uh-oh, we hear some banelings for Fredo coming in. Don't think we have that centrifugal hook upgrade, but oh, drop denied. Fredo, he is just on the ball, man. He knows those Marines are coming at any second here, and so he's just got those Zerglings perfect position, and I'm going to be looking to see if Daronian's going to drop. This would be a good spot to actually place some Marines, as he has access to 3 Overlords. Yep, sure enough, there we go. As we see, the Zerg player is already supply blocked. He's got 3 Overlords on the way. He does stand to lose all 3. Oh, man, lucky on that second one. The 3rd one, will it make its escape? I do not think so. It does indeed go down. Daronian manages to make this drop actually begin to pay for itself a little bit after all, since it was thwarted initially by the very good observation from Fredo. Units lost so far, we can see it's been a relatively quiet game so far here in Tal'Darim Altar. 250 to 150. APM right now 126 to 60. As far as the income goes, you can see 44 to 32 as the Zerg continues to drone up. He's getting a Spire on the way. He's got melee attacks level 1, so I think he is going to be focusing on the Zerg, the Speedling, possibly Mutalisk build later on down the road. We'll see exactly what comes of that. Like I said before, with Tal'Darim Altar being such a darn big map, you really need that mobility to help propel you to victory here. And Terran, I think he's got the right idea, going for the drops, things like that. You see, he's got the tech lab on the factory now, so he will be able to research that blue flame Hellion upgrade and be able to deal with some of those Zerglings, as we do hear those Marines now finally evacuating next to the command center, which is starting to work on getting the natural expansion up and running. Very much something that he needs at this point, as the Zerg is going to be looking to take a 3rd base. Working on this set of destructible rocks here, we can just look at the army investment right now and see it's kind of close. I mean, 1225 to 1550. Certainly, both players are able to hold their own, and Zerg also has some solid defenses here. Just looking at the units tab, we can see 45 to 39 on the workers. There's a few marauders coming actually for the Terran player. I really like that decision. Dare Onion realizes that Banelings, he saw those when he was up there trying to drop. He knows that Marauders are an armored unit, and they are able to absorb a lot of damage from those Banelings. They actually, I think, only do 20 damage against a non-light unit. Yep, sure enough, there we go. So, very good call on that. Here comes a few mutas, probably just going to scout around. I mean, 3 mutas are not something, it's not something you want to be sending directly into the mineral line or a big batch of Marines. They're going to get chewed up very quickly. So for now, he just decided, okay, do a little bit of map control, sending it out, kind of like how Protoss send out that, the little Phoenix squads every now and then, scout around the map, get an idea of what's going on in terms of expansions, which we can see actually, Fredo has got some very good map control, controlling 3 of the 4 watchtowers, pretty much the 3 most important ones here, as Terran looks like he is still very much on the defensive and possibly anticipating an attack here at some point. I don't know, but he is deciding to stay in his base nonetheless, which the Zerg player is perfectly alright with. We all know that if you let a Zerg player just macro up, do his own thing, and not feel pressured, then those larvae, they're just going to keep turning into drones, and more drones. Next thing you know, you've got a Zerg with 75, 80 drones sitting on several bases, and it's pretty much just going to be a move to victory with swarm after swarm after swarm of units coming at your base. Very difficult to actually fight off here on Tal'Darim Altar. Now, Fredo, still sticking with the Zergling Baneling play. Again, good call, considering what he is facing right now. Several mutas are getting ready to infiltrate the Terran base, though. Oh, man. Let's see. Let's take a look at the targets. What could we possibly see? Okay, 2 missile turrets right here, a bunch of Marines. Chances are we're not going to see a lot of damage there. This spot, a few turrets. It's got 3, definitely a lot farther away. But I do like the fact that he picked up that armory. Oh, knocked out the command center, delaying that expansion. That is definitely going to help out. And also, trying to limit the Marine production. I mean, hey, this was probably the best target that he could see in this immediate area right here. He probably saw, okay, the very edge of that tech lab. He didn't see it running, so just not even going to really worry about that. He is sending over several Overlords, though, which I think could be just scouting around right now. You see he's got rally points all throughout the expansions there. As the Metas come in once again, try to actually do some economic damage, working on the turrets first. The SCVs are actually not trying to repair the turrets, so we are going to see both of those go down. Those poor dizzy guys finally not spinning anymore in those giant towers, man. I don't know if you've ever actually seen those things, but they even had the similar model in StarCraft 1. You can see it in the wireframe. There's one little guy just spinning around, dizzy as all get out in that thing. I really do feel sorry for him. But Fredo coming around, continuing to scout with the Overlords. It looks like he's actually going to head right into here and then call it good, according to what we saw from those rally point queues finally ending. There goes another SCV, probably just scouting around, maybe hoping to build a command center somewhere. There. Oh, man, that is not going to work out well for him. Fredo will be able to easily spot that, as now so many Zerglings are going to be heading out. The Zerg is in a great spot to just macro up here. We see 26 Zerglings on the way, 72 drones right now. Fantastic position in terms of income. You see he's got more than double the gas of his opponent right now, as we do have 1 siege tank in a great position up here at the top. It's a little bit vulnerable to the mutas, but still the Zerglings will get fired upon plenty far away, as he actually gets ready to move that here, possibly looking to move more into the mineral line, which I think would be a good choice as well. I mean, he'll still be able to fire at the Zerglings on the way down, on the way up here, and be near the SCV, so that'll work out pretty good. Speaking of working out, man, you see the Zerglings making their way all the way across the map here, lining up. I think it's really funny how they get into that formation like they're worshipping that tower on their way. Though plenty of Banelings here. Wait and see. Oh my word, Fredo, the Baneling, man, he is looking to just annihilate his opponent on the ground here with tons and tons of Banelings. Poor Zerglings are just squished, man. They are claustrophobic up in here. Cannot even begin to get their way out. But with all those Banelings on the way, the Meta's running around denying the expansions, I really do feel like Fredo is in a really nice spot here as we approach the 20-minute mark. We'll wait and see exactly what the Terran player does. He's going to have to be aggressive and be mobile. Now would be a great time to start seeing some of those drops coming in. This mineral line is unguarded. We could see this one right here. It does have the Greater Spire right next to it. Quite vulnerable, actually, to a drop. Tons of drones hanging out here as well, with 2 additional expansions going down for Fredo. One over here, this is his 4th, and this one down here, of course, or up here rather, will be his 5th. Muta's hanging out as well, still sitting on no upgrades, but we do have the adrenal glands for the Zerglings, so he's looking to round out the upgrades for those, working on Armor 2 as well as Weapons 3 for the melee units. Take a look down here at the Marine Marauder Medevac force. We see it's starting to move out, actually. He's got a decent number of Marauders. I like how he's got a lot of them here at the front side. Going to be able to absorb a lot of damage coming in from right here. He's going to have to be careful with the Marines, though, because you see they're all still bunched up here. So we're going to have to watch we have to watch the siege tanks, see how those are positioned, see if we're going to have any decent micro here, because I mean, even with tons of banelings running around, you can micro your way out of it and at least minimize a lot of that damage. But with more siege tanks on the way and a couple ghosts as well, now that's definitely an interesting choice to have here. Possibly getting some sniping done. Oh man, that would be interesting indeed. And we also do have the Ventral Sacs upgrade on the way. Oh, even an Ultralisk Cavern. He is just rounding out his technology. The Infestation Pit, you could see we've got the Pathogen Glands upgrade completed. So he's going to be able to spawn those with extra energy and drop down some Fungals immediately. No Neural Parasite, though. It would be pretty lolzy if he actually Neural Parasited and then started sniping off the Marines. But probably not likely to happen here. What is more likely to happen is a heck of a huge Baneling explosion right here. Ooh, several Infestors as well. Fungal with Banelings is incredibly powerful, so I'm going to be looking to see what Fredo does here as he makes even more Banelings. Oh man, he is just going to mop up this Terran ground force. If there's no micro here, you know, he could always load up a lot of these forces into the dropships as long as he doesn't get fungal growth. But the problem is he does risk that if he lets his dropships get too close. But we see the siege tanks running ahead, going to be able to absorb a lot of those banelings. The infestors just pushing their way through. Uh-oh, it's party time, folks. Here we go. It's baneling time, rolling right on through. My God, the banelings don't even stop for air. They just keep on rolling through to, oh man, this is not going to be pretty. Here come the banelings getting ready to run into the expansion. The SCVs make it out. Oh, don't double back there. You got to get out just in time. Few banelings chasing it. The rest of them are in pursuit. Here we go once again with tons of Zerglings coming across the minimap right now. Oh, SCVs actually coming in one final act of desperation. Baneling time in the middle line. Oh, so many SCVs do go down. So many more. And wow, that has got to be a record for the amount of SCVs killed in a certain amount of time. Zergling Swarm coming to mop things up here as we see 196 to 46. Ultras and Zerglings on the way. That is pretty much just going to be GG there for Dare Onion, man. Fredo just pulling out all the stops. He has got 5 bases right now, 4 of which are operational. Actually, I think even less than that. But still, the important thing here are the Zerglings just running amok in Dare Onion's base. There's not a lot he could do at this point. You see all the add-ons are just getting trashed there. There's the GG from Dare Onion. Very nice, bringing this series to an epic conclusion, a baneling conclusion. How much better can you get than that? Alright guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it here, the After Hours Gaming League. You can check it out at afterhoursgaming.tv. Alright guys, I'll see you later.